Hello, welcome back to the 90's Mad Podcast, your podcast for all things Newcastle United. Hosted by two lifelong Newcastle United supported buddies. Myself, D-Man, joined by my co-host Justin. How you doing, sir?
Oh, good, thank you. You're right.
No, I'm not, bro.
Little
No, I'm
gasp
not.
of air there.
I'm not over yesterday, bro. That's all it is, bro. I'm tired.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Tim. Merry Christmas, all our watchers.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And today we're joined by our debutant, one of our friends from the NUFC Talk TV channel. Tim, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to be here, mate.
Yeah,
Cheers.
good to have you on, man. Good to have you on. And don't forget, those in the chat, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. So it's this episode and the next one, maybe the one after that. We've got 17 to go. I think we're on 483 at the moment. So we appreciate if you can get to 500, hopefully by the end of the show. If not, before the end of the year. So tell your people, man. Tell your people. But big up for those in the building already. I see we've got a few of them already. We've got Forever Football. Big up. He said good or bad result. We'll talk about that. Kenny in the building. I think the team started their Christmas jollies at half time. Big up King Cameron as well. And big up Adrian. Yeah. Ginny in the building as well. Big up, big up. Yeah. And we've got Connor in the building as well. But big up Connor. So as usual, we're here to review the latest instalment of the Newcastle United season. We were home to Chelsea at the lunchtime kickoff yesterday. They finished Newcastle 2, Chelsea 2. We all know we squandered a two-goal lead at half-time. Lots to discuss. Some dubious decisions, some bad finishing, strange substitutions, the lot. So, as usual, eventful time in the days of Newcastle United. So, let's talk about it. Justin, overall summary of the game?
It's kind of what crept in a little bit of last season. And what we've seen a lot of this season has been Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it? I think, that first half, actually, there were some real good passages of play. I think we definitely had enough chances to see the game out home and dry, to the point where you could coast, but as has let us down, the finishing in the final third. But I think, yeah, some real high notes. I'm sure we'll get into it. I was happy to see Nick Voltemada get his double. And we appeared to be rocking, but as all too familiar, the second half, we gave away a lead, really. Santa had given us a present, and we chucked it away. So I think our team probably deserves a lump of coal after that second half performance. But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Indeed. Tim, overall thoughts on the game?
I mean, like everyone said, it was a game of two halves, wasn't it? And first half, it's like this is what I want to see, and it was one of our best performances in a long time. And we'll get into details, but just kind of briefly, Anthony Gordon, I thought was brilliant first half, and I've given pelters this season, and before the game, I was kind of like, criticizing him for starting over Barnes, but I've got to give him credit. I thought he was quality and back to his best when he kind of first came in that first full season he had. And the press was there, we were putting them under pressure. They couldn't get out. So it was brilliant to see some quality passing as well. And obviously we got the two goals. I knew, what, we need to get a third really. But to have that 2-goal cushion was brilliant in itself. And then you go into the second half, and yeah, unfortunately, as when I went to 2-1, I definitely knew then that we need this third goal if we're going to win this game. And the same faults, like you said, kind of came back to haunt us in the second half that we've seen for a lot of the season. It did kind of sum up that game, didn't it? I think the good things and the bad things with the team at the moment and the manager.
Yeah. Just some bit of breaking news from Connor. Ornstein's reported that Isak has broken his leg. Not sure about you guys, but I'll send my best wishes to him. I
Yeah.
wouldn't wish that on anybody. I know some Newcastle fans will celebrate his injury and stuff, but I don't think that's right. I think,
Mm,
regardless of how he treated us, we don't want to see a footballer break his leg and them kind of injuries.
Oh,
So
mm,
a speedy recovery, man. Speedy recovery. Um, but yeah, similar to what you guys said, there was a lot to be positive about, especially that first half. The intensity was there, the press was there, a good passage of play. Chelsea couldn't live with us. Not surprising because we tend to get up for these big games at home. And I think we started how we kind of expected, similarly how we started against them last season. Um, but it's good to see Baltimore to get the 2 goals, like you said. But like you said, Tim, I always thought that we needed a third goal. When I said at half time, the next goal is key, right? And it
mm,
proved to be decisive. But my problem with Newcastle is, we tend to go to sleep the first 10 minutes of the second half. And this is going back to last season as well. I remember Tenardi talking about it last season. This hasn't seemed to be addressed, and that's a worrying thing. And lo and behold, we conceded so early in that second half, and it changed the course of the game. Um, but it was always the case when we start like that, so energetic, as Jefferson calls it, 100 miles an hour football. It's hard to sustain it, and
yeah.
no team can sustain it. To be fair, but what you need is be able to control games after that for a period of time to slow things down to take this thing out of the game, but we haven't got the players to do it. We haven't got the manager to be able to do it with this style of play, and it's starting to hurt us. But we'll talk about the lineups, Tim. What were your thoughts of the lineup? Were you happy with what you went with? Was that what you expected?
Pretty much what I expected, to be fair, although the one thing I was happy about and kinda surprised about was Ramsey being kept in the side. That might be because Joe Linton isn't 100% fit, but whichever way it came about, I was pleased Ramsey continued, because I thought he played well against Fulham, and I think he needs more games to show his worth and to kind of, bring his qualities because it's been so stop-start, he's not gonna be able to do that until he gets that run and that rhythm. So I was pleased with that. Obviously, with Marley right back, there was question marks. Would he play there again? And to be fair, I think Marley obviously was outstanding, and I think we've kind of came across something there that is a solution for us for now anyway. While Tino's out, um, so fair play to that. I mean, with again going back to Anthony Gordon and Barnes, I was miffed that Barnes wasn't starting. I mean, I get that you need the impact players off the bench as well, so it's a balance that way. But yeah, I was kind of miffed at that. But yeah, Gordon was brilliant anyway. And yeah, Voldemort. I mean, I expected Voldemort to play. After resting against Fulham, part of us wouldn't have minded Wissa to continue, but you do not want him to break down again. So like I fully understood him being on the bench for
Yeah.
this one. So it was kind of what I expected, really.
Okay, Jefferson, same from you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Ramsey being in the team gives us much needed dynamism. I'm still not sure though why he doesn't quite trust Miley in midfield. And actually, he's not the only person. Sorry, Bruno isn't the only person who can pass the ball forward. I think Miley can. I think he's very much a tempo player. Maybe he feels that Ramsey has the legs to get up and down, and that's what we need, a bit more speed. And potentially playing against a more advanced team like Chelsea, we might not control possession. So maybe that's something he thought of. But I do worry about Miley's development playing out of position. We've seen this historically with certain players that once they start getting moved around, it can mess them up a little bit when they're sort of in their education phase in their career. Um, but yeah, I agree with Tim in terms of the Gordon thing. I think with Gordon, we know he's going to turn up for the big games. I don't know if it's whether he cares, whether he's putting himself in the shop window, if it's an ego thing when he decides when to turn up. But I do feel like Eddie needs to manage him better in terms of drip feed him back into the team. Like, let
Mm,
him really fight for that shirt because at the moment, he feels like he can turn it on and off. And don't worry, Daddy Eddie's going to let me back in the team. And, a penny for Barnes' thoughts, who, yes, I know he can be frustrating because he's slightly inconsistent, but I think he's been chugging away at an even kill. He's not necessarily putting really bad performances. I know we'll get into the chances he had later on, but yeah, penny for his thoughts a little bit. But at the end of the day, Gordon did turn up. So what it can do is maybe push others further in the squad to kind of challenge him going forward.
Yeah. Big up Big Yinks in the building. Big up yourself for fun.
Yo.
Big up Mukta as well. Mukta said, I don't know what you guys think, but we need a goalkeeper in January. I can't keep watching Step Brothers Nick Pope and Ramsdale. My God, why can't we just spend on a solid goalkeeper? better talk about Elanga. Listen, we're going to address both of those things today. Both the goalkeeper thing and the Elanga situation. Because boy, even I can't defend this guy. But it is what it is. We'll get to Elanga.
That's a great analogy. Who is it? Who's the other one? You got Will Ferrell. Who's the other brother?
I don't know. I never know his name.
I
but
can't remember his name either, but that's a great analogy. That is.
Yeah. But now, in terms of the lineup, to be honest, I expected that exact lineup. I don't. In my opinion, Gordon shouldn't have started because the Barnes has been doing well, but we knew the big games. Eddie's going to bring Gordon into the team. The fact that he didn't start midweek told me that he's gonna start again. So yeah, it was good to see Ramsey get another chance in midfield. I did think that was going to happen because of the fact that we had no right back, and I think because Mighty played right back midweek, I think he'd start winning again. I am concerned about him keeping doing that because sooner or later Mighty's going to have a bad game. No fault of his own because he's not a natural right back, but when he comes up against a real competent winger, on Boxing Day, he could have problems.
Mentally, that's a bit of a crushing blow, isn't it?
Exactly.
If you're not on song.
Yeah.
Is he preparing us for James Garner?
Don't put that in the ether, bro. Do not put that in the ether. Yeah? We don't need that. We don't need that kind of negativity right now. Yeah, we've got enough negativity surrounding the club as it is. Yeah. But,
I think with Miley, I think just for me, it's just important. I agree what you're saying, like in terms of his development. I think it's just I view it as a stopgap. I
Yeah.
agree if it's seen as like a long-term thing, and he's
Yeah.
converted to right back, like as much as a centre midfielder, then I think I do disagree with that. And
Maybe
hopefully when Tino's back, that's kind of him back in.
yeah, because you don't want him to try to do that whole Reece James thing and have him, moving into centre midfield, but play right back and nah, I can't be doing that, man. Can't be doing that. King Cam said Ramsdale's mistake, the referee, and our failure to take our chances all contributed to the result. Indeed, agreed. Connor said we put balls into the box and Baltimore scores too. Well, let's talk about it. So the game starts, right? And I think Chelsea had the first opportunity, to be fair. I think Cole Palmer chipped one up just over the bar. But then we get the first goal, right? The ball's played across to Murphy, and we know Murphy dangerous with delivery, who, to me, Murphy had a stinker, by the way, but we'll get to that. But he puts the ball across. Good work from Anthony Gordon to win the ball from Gusto. I think Sanchez gets a touch on it and it falls to Voltemada. And, one touch, bang into the net, 1-0. Jefferson, thoughts on the goal?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite funny because I don't know if Gordon gets clattered, but he kind of miscues the volley,
Yeah.
which kind of works out fortuitously because the keeper has to save it. But, the one word there is composure, isn't it? When it drops to Voltemada, we've seen those go, we've seen them be blocked, we've seen them go over, we've seen them go wide, and he hits it into the roof of the net. And what a great way to come back after the Derby game. So really pleased for him, and it's a good finish. But yeah, Anthony Gordon ghosting round the back of I think it was Gusto.
Yeah.
Round the back of Gusto, gets in front of him. Really crucial part of the goal. That.
Tim, what were your thoughts on that for the goal itself?
I think that's what Gordon was really good at, wasn't he? When he was on form, sneaking in that back post on the end of crosses, where it's not necessarily like silty skills, it's just that anticipation. So he did really well there. And Murphy, and I agree, like D-Man, Murphy, as the game went on, he kept on giving the ball away, but he still put in that really good cross. And like, you're going to get that. At some point, he's going to put in some good balls. And that was another quality cross in. And yeah, like what Voltemada, it's like time stands still, doesn't it? In that moment where the ball's dropping and it's like the spotlight's on you, what you're going to do. And you should score, obviously. You know what I mean? It's there for you. But some players would get phased, it's like, whoa. But like you said, just nice composure, just to tuck it in. No messing. And like you say, I'm pleased for him as well. And I think, for the Derby game, for that own goal, and I was critical as well in terms of like, and it can happen, but I just wondered, it was a bit clumsy, wasn't it? Like, could you not have maybe done a bit better there? But but it was nice to see him come back, and obviously the fans gave him a really good reception. I think it's a nice touch, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
kinda tell them, "Look, obviously, we're not happy with the Derby game, but for you personally, we are
yeah,
behind you."
exactly. And you mentioned some players would get phased in that position and miss it. Some players, take ages, take a touch, and let defenders come back and win the ball off them. So I mean, credit to Voltemada. Um, but yeah, listen, and we didn't. What impressed me after that is that we didn't rest on our laurels because a lot of the time this season we take the lead and then we sit back and invite pressure. We didn't do that. We stayed on them. We stayed pressing them. I noticed when Sanchez got the ball, either Gordon was straight on him or even Voldemar was straight on him, not giving him the time of day to pick out our pass. They kept on kicking out our play and stuff like that. We were strong in the tackle, on the front foot, which was good to see. And we get our just desserts as well to go 2-0 up. Now, this one again, good work from Anthony Gordon on the left hand side. He cuts in, puts a great ball into the middle. The ones where, if a defender gets a touch on it, it could be an own goal. But you've got Voltemada, instinctive finish, right? And it goes in, right? So we go 2-0 up, but then it takes forever to give this goal, right? Now, I know, first of all, we can talk about the goal itself, Tim, but I know all the fact that the goal line, the technology, whatever it was, whatever it is, technology went down, right? So they had to draw the lines. But to me, it was so obvious. I think it was Caicedo's leg was keeping Voltemada on side. Why the hell did it take so long? So tell me your thoughts on the goal itself and then the whole debacle surrounding it.
I mean, the goal itself, Anthony Gordon, that was probably the most impressive thing I thought, because we know he's got pace, we know he can press, but technically, I think he can be found wanting at times, but that cross from Gordon was right on the money. So if you can do that more often, then fair play, and that's what I wanna see more of, and I can kind of see him improving as a player if he can do that more often. So that was a quality cross, like you say, instinctive finish from Voltemada. And it was good to see Voltemada kind of getting in on the end of that, where I know it was a kind of a set piece, wasn't it? But sometimes, you've questioned his instincts in the box, in terms of getting on the end of things. So that was quality from him. And yeah, like when you could see the replay and they were checking it, it was automated offside, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
down.
Yep.
So that's why they were saying it was taking so long. But like you say, you could see the white sock from the Chelsea player in itself was an indicator that
yeah,
it was onside. It was blatant. And, I was the same. I'm, like, pulling my hair out, like, it's there to see. It's blatantly onside, and it's one of my frustrations with VAR, where you're reviewing things where it's every little detail, and it it just takes away the flow of the game, and you're looking for, like I've said before, you're looking for this utopia in football where everything's correct within an inch, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you've gotta accept, like, if there's gonna be these gray areas, whatever, and I know offside isn't a gray area, but I think when you're looking to rule out offside goals or goals that have been scored that could be offside, where there's actually no advantage, in that instance, I
yeah.
just think it's silly, and maybe the leeway rule is something that could help in instances like that.
Right. Yeah. Jefferson, what are your thoughts on it on the goal?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because if you pick it apart from a Chelsea point of view, it's not nice viewing. So I'll talk about that very quickly before talking about that. I think it's a spectacular finish actually from Voltemada, considering he probably might not be on the best confidence at the moment. But from a Chelsea perspective, Neto gets skinned on the inside way too easy, and then Palmer's really lackadaisical. Like Gordon's got a lot of time to pick out that ball. I know he gets his head down and whips it in, but Palmer could have pressed him, so I'm sure Maresca wasn't pleased with that. But let's look into that goal. The way he whips it in, it's just begging. You whistle, you breathe on it, and it's in the back of the net. And we talked about this with Gordon before. I talked about him lashing it, reverse ball. On the floor, that's what he can do. I think he's better when he comes inside. I don't like him outside. I think he's more of a threat when he cuts inside, and he shows it there with a great delivery. But as for that touch, I mean, it looked for me like Fafana was really struggling with Voltemada, and he shows a lot of strength. So not just the anticipation and the balance, but the strength to keep on an even kill and get that instinctive finish off. And when you look at it again on the replays, it's lovely to watch. I watched it a few times, and this is what happens when you service a striker. Now, whether anyone likes it or not, we have not been providing service to this player. I don't care what anyone says, but yesterday was a prime example of what you do when you feed your striker. More often than not, it may result in a goal threat or a goal.
Yeah. Tim, so Voldemort, I think he's got 9 goals in all competitions in I think 23 appearances or something like 9 goals and 1 assist, right?
Mhm.
How many goals do you think he will get in all competitions this season? We'll start with the league. How many? Because he's got 7 in the league, I think. So in the league, how many goals do you think he'll get in the league this season?
It'll be interesting to see how we'll kind of play him. I mean, I think obviously I don't think it's going to change the system in itself. But I was thinking of like the support from Wissa and how that might change things.
Hmm.
But he's got 7 right now. I don't see why he can't get 15 goals, and even more potentially. It depends on how the season pans out. And like you say about the service he gets, Jefferson. But I think
Mm.
he's clearly capable of scoring goals. And I think as well, if he was, we can come on to this later, but if he kind of had more support around him, if he's ghosting into the box from deep, then that might actually allow him to score more goals, even though he's starting further away from the box.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right. I think 15 goals, 15 goal return will be quite good. Considering we've got Vista there as well now, I think that will be good. Big up 40 in the building. How you doing, sir?
Listen, the bloodlines in the building, man.
Good,
Big
there
up
we
yourself, man. Come on. D-man's still working on it. D-man's still working on it. It's fine. It's fine.
Here
We'll
we
get
go,
him,
bro.
Jefferson. We'll get him.
Here we go. No, big up, big up.
Tim's gonna think, what the F is going on here?
Yeah, don't worry, Tim. You're not alone, bro. You're not alone. Yeah, you're
I
not
know the
alone.
reference. I vaguely know the reference, but I can't
He
say
knows.
like
He
I'm
knows.
Tim,
Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him.
Come on,
Acknowledge Tim. Acknowledge
Tim.
Tim. There we go.
Oh, stop the nonsense, bro. Stop the nonsense. But now, we've got Roy in the building. How you doing, sir?
Roy, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Roy?
Roy's
Oh,
not acknowledging,
no,
man.
he's
He's not acknowledging.
frozen, isn't
He's
he?
frozen. Yeah, he's frozen.
He'll
Roy,
be back.
Roy will be back when he
He'll
can.
be back.
Um,
He's here. Oh no, he's gone. Oh no, he's here.
Roy, can you hear us? Roy, hello, mate.
Something.
Greetings. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yeah, we can
There
hear
we
you.
yeah.
Man. Hear you. How you doing, sir?
There you go.
You
Technical
good?
difficulties.
You good?
All right, lads.
Yeah,
All
bro. Can
right.
you
All
can you
right.
hear us?
All right.
Oh, good.
What an eventful few days it's been.
Yeah,
He can't hear us, can he?
I
I
don't
can
think
hear
he.
you.
He
Oh,
can. Oh, he can. Okay, good.
I can, yeah.
good. I'm
I
just
can
gonna
hear you.
go through some of these comments. Big up MB79. He said if Miley doesn't play right back, it leaves us with Murphy right back and Alanga on the right. Let's not talk about Alanga just yet, because we've got a lot to talk about that. Teresa said, when's Pope due back? I've got a point where Ramsdale in goal scares me.
That's saying something, isn't it?
We'll talk about Ramsdale as well,
Yeah.
because obviously we're coming up to that in a minute. So Kenny said we might see Pope back on Friday. Yeah, I think that might be right. Kim Cam said this game was clear evidence of the need of a world-class keeper. Indeed. But big up Tony. He said I'm convinced neither Barnes or Gordon's consistency by neither Barnes or Gordon's consistency. Interesting. No, MB, no. It's never going to be that bad. Let's just go with Ruddy at Old Trafford.
Yeah, man, that Ruddy.
No, we don't need that kind of negativity, bro.
What do you call him again, D-man? A bouncer.
Yeah, bro. He's one of them nightclub bouncers, bro. That's what he's there
You
for.
ain't, sorry, mate. You ain't coming in.
Ruddy's just got the best season ticket in the world. Like, he's got all access.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm
And he gets
jealous.
paid. We're
Is
fine.
Gillespie still there?
Oh, I
Both
don't
of
know,
them.
bro.
They're
Yeah.
mandatory.
God.
That's a madness. Vorcap Bruno's in. So happy for Votamada to get his 2 goals. Shame he didn't get the hat trick. Gordon was immense first half. Ref's decision shocking overall. Well, before we get to the second half, then let's talk about these chances that we missed in the first half, right? Because obviously Votamada scored that second goal, but he had another opportunity just like that, and it's gone wide. So I'll start with you, Roy. Was that a bad miss, or was he unlucky with that one?
Yeah, I think it's a bit unlucky because the ball was coming fast. It's easier to judge it when we watch it on TV in slow motion and stuff. But you have to remember these players are running into the box and someone's crossing it. And you got like a split of a second to make your mind up and put your foot in. But that
Indeed.
wasn't the worst one. But could have scored, but unlucky. A few inches wide as well.
Yeah. Tim, what do you reckon? Bad miss or unlucky?
To be honest, I'll need to look at it again, but when I seen it during the game, was that the one where it was central? He kind of
It was
right.
to the right a little bit, wasn't it? And he should have put
Yeah,
it.
to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tapped
Yeah,
it with the front of his foot.
I think the instincts at the time were like he maybe could have done a bit better. Obviously hard to criticise. He's on a hat trick and he's already scored 2 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're a bit ruthless, obviously Gordon had his chance as well. And if one of those goes in, then you'd like to think that's game over.
Okay. Okay. Big up
One
Kante in the
thing,
building, by the way.
just to tag in on Tim's point, the Gordon chance, if I remember, comes from Ramsdale. That daisy cutter pass straight into Voltemada. What a touch. And that's what playing Ramsdale can give you. A
Yeah.
bit of that go forward. Whereas with Nick Pope, he isn't as good on the ball, unfortunately.
Yeah. Big up Tiger in the building. How you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
You're in the shadows,
We can
mate.
hear you, but we can't see you,
Oh,
bro.
I'm just driving home. I'm just driving home.
Can you put your car light
Ah,
on? All
Nah, I
good, bro.
can't put the
All
light
good.
on. I can't put the light on. Nah.
All good. All good. All good. Does anybody think that was a bad miss, or do you all think he's unlucky?
I mean, it's a peachy ball, isn't it? Delicious teasing ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bit of
I
a
don't
mix,
know.
really. You know.
You'd argue the other finish was harder, you know?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the second one was harder.
Yeah, but
I
listen,
don't know if he thinks maybe the defender's going to get to it first, and then when he kind of it's kind of more of a reaction than anything, you know?
yeah. So what was the bad miss in that half then? Because I know someone said there was the bad miss. Which one was that one? Was there a really bad miss in the first half?
Gordon's was point blank.
The one
I
with
mean,
you mean Gordon one where he took it down, blazed it over.
I mean, it's a great touch. It's a great touch, but once you're in front of the keeper, what, 15 yards out, you got to
Yeah,
lash that home. You have to lash it home. It actually reminds me a little bit of Jose Perez's goal against Chelsea back in, I think, was it the 15-16 season, except that was exquisite when he touches it up off his heel and then volleys it. You got to put that bottom corner.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So listen, we go into the break 2-0 up, right? And as I mentioned before, I said and Tim said we needed a third. I said the next goal is vital, right? And I was saying to some people in some other WhatsApp, I do not trust this team. At 2-0, I do not trust them, right? Now, obviously, Eddie Howe gets interviewed during a halftime break, and he talk about, we've got to keep it up, blah blah blah, whatever. Now, we give away a silly free kick early on in the second half. Ramsey pulls down, I forget who it was, Palmer or something it was. I think he pulled down Palmer, right? Now, you've got Palmer and Reece James standing over the free kick, right? Now, I don't know about you guys, but me, I said, he's scoring this. Whoever's taking it is going to score, right? And I tell you, and I said, in my head, I thought, Ramsdale's going to have something to do with this, right? Now, I'll start with you, Fordy. Was it a great free kick, or was it more Ramsdale's positioning that was at fault for that?
For me, it's a bit of both, if I'm being honest. It's a bit of both. Like, as you can see, Ramsdale working out the wall. He's gone way too much over one side and left that gaping gap. He left so much ground to cover on that free kick. Flipping out, he would have had 2 goalkeepers to try and save that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he trusted so much of the wall to try and block the free kick and get someone near it. The way that Reece James kind of put it between, I can't remember the 2 people in the wall, but it's kind of in between like the second and third person anyway.
Bruno was one of them, I think.
It might have been, but there was. I remember seeing the free kick back, and I just remember it between like the second person, the middle person, and the person like on the latter end of the wall. But yeah, like it's a tough one because again, he's just kissed it off the post. So again, it's as good as a free kick as you're going to get, really and truly. Like even Kieran Trippier will be happy with that free kick, but really and truly, Ramsdale didn't do himself no favours by putting all his defenders over one side. Putting himself over one side and his defenders on the other side, and then giving him so much of chance to try and get over to the other side. So there's a bit of both, but really and truly, that's only one goal. The second one was even worse. I know we're going to get onto it, but the second goal's even worse. The defender was atrocious. And again,
Yeah.
that's by my guys. Why? Our guy, Malik Chow, man, the Rolls Royce defender.
We'll talk about. Don't worry. We'll talk about that second goal. Big up Pod Mags in the building. He said, "Big up 90's Mags."
Max!
Big up Joey as well. He said, "Big up the 90's Mags. Great show. Big up Joey." Like Connor said, man, keep liking the channel, liking the stream. We're trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. Hope we're not too far away now, so your support is much appreciated. But yeah, listen.
You know how you'd get people to 500 subs?
God. No, don't. I'm gonna say don't bother. I shouldn't ask. I knew that was coming, bro. I knew that was coming.
Come on!
Howie.
Come on, Roy. Acknowledge. Yeah.
Nah,
The realists.
I'm not having this.
Slowly but surely.
I got a question for you. All right, Tim, you talk to me about that goal itself, and then while you're at it, address this comment, please, because Connor's asked, is Tim on the dark side now? He's on the channel, so whichever one you address first, just let me know. Go on.
I'm getting pulled in, aren't I? I've got the Darth Sidious bloody whispering in my ear.
Well, he's trying to join the bloodline now. Any Jefferson,
Join
one
the
of
dark
us.
side.
One of us.
Yeah, it's not quite yet. Not dark side. I mean, like,
It's
I'll
not the
come on
dark
to
side,
that.
it's the real side.
I'll come on to that, right? I mean, in terms of the goal, do you mean the first Chelsea goal or the second Chelsea goal?
The first goal, the free kick.
I mean, the first one, I think, like, you've got to hand it to Reece James. You know, he can do that, can't he? And it was quality free kick. Like you say, 40, maybe Ramsdale is hedging one side too much. And I think he might be anticipating Reece James going the other way. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Thinking he's the wall's got that side, my right side. So I'm going to be covering my left side. And I think he might go this way anyway, type of thing. And once he goes to Ramsdale's right side and it's in like top bins, then he's not going to save it. But if he was a few inches over, maybe he would have. Maybe Nick Pope would have saved it, potentially, to be fair. And like Jefferson yawn about the pros and cons with Nick Pope and Ramsdale, I think like you really have got like different qualities there. It's a case of picking your poison, you know. I mean, in terms of that dark side and that look, like I was speaking to Jefferson a few days ago about kind of football being like the bread and circus and that, and like we all know like there's more important things kind of in the world, and but knowing this, I think you're still all in. Do you know what I mean? Because football's like theatre. You know, it's like it's that escapism, if you like, and we all love it. And I think kind of having like affinity towards managers and players, I think it's kind of part of that theatre. So I think that dynamic kind of exists within the sport. So I think without that, we'll lose some of the tribalism, we'll lose some of the sort of romance of the game, if you like. And a lot of these things underpin why we love the game. So I think, you know, everyone's invested in different ways, but I would never sort of mock anyone who has affinity towards, you know, a manager, whether it's Eddie Howe or anybody else, King Kev, because it's all part of it, you know, for me. So I think it doesn't mean that even if I've got affinity towards Eddie Howe, you know, at the same time, it doesn't mean I can't hold a second thought in that I also have questions. And I don't think I have full faith that he is the man long term in terms of his squad rotation and in terms of his kind of tactics, if you like, his game management. I think that's the main thing, actually, the game management. So I I've mentioned Iriola before. I know it's a bit of a curveball, but in terms of like no European experience in that, and we can get onto that maybe later if you want. But I think in terms of like going forward, you know, all being said, as much as I've got massive respect for the man, I do question if he's the man to take us forward.
Right,
Okay, that's fair enough.
We've kind of half got him, you know. I think we've kind
Oh, relax, man. Relax.
tribal team. That's what we're gonna call it, tribal team.
Slowly but surely.
Just some of these.
The force is strong with you, Tim.
Before I come to you, Ray.
The glint in his eyes, like, actually,
Before I come to you.
Eddie's frauding a little
I'm in the
bit.
grey side for you.
Teetering. He's teetering on the edge.
Walcott said a
It's
bit. I
coming.
don't understand why Bruno didn't
Come
jump, but I
on.
don't think it would have made any difference. I think Connor said also that Bruno didn't jump in the wall as well. Giniesta said Palmer, who won that free kick, was completely unmarked in the pocket. Far too many cons and pros in that 4-5-1 flat mid block because, and you're right, because that midfield gets carved open so easily every game. One through ball through the centre, and we're all at sea. But yeah, Roy, what's your thoughts on the free kick? Let's go to the second goal. Let's go to the second goal
Yeah.
before we talk about any decisions and stuff like that. Let's talk the second goal because it was a long. I think it was a kick from Sanchez, right?
It's from the
Now,
goalkeeper. It was from a silly cross by Gordon,
yeah.
and
So
we had about
Sanchez
5 or
claimed it,
6 players around the box at
right?
the time.
So Sanchez, listen, good spot by Sanchez because he's seen Malik Chow isolated by Joao Pedro, and he's hit the nail, with the goal kick, with the kick. Now it's good control. I say control. Pedro's headed the ball up, but Malik Chow, he's been our best performing defender to date. Unlucky. He's gone tight to Pedro, but he's slipped, right? And
Yeah.
it's allowed Pedro to take the ball 1-on-1. And as he's going through, I'm saying he's scoring this. He's scoring this. Now, my disappointment, yes, Malik Chow slips. I get it, right? But Pedro's 1-on-1 with Ramsdale. And I don't know about you, but to me, I think Pope saves that. Yeah. Or at least because Ramsdale did not make an effort to even try and move towards the goal, towards the ball, which really frustrated me. Now, I'll go with you, Roy. What was your thoughts on that, the second goal itself?
One of the things, how it started was when Gordon, as soon as Gordon crossed that ball and went to the keeper, our back four should have went back.
Right.
But 9 of our players were in their half, and it was only Chow and Ramsdale in our half. And Chow was on the far right, and Ramsdale's in goal. And you'd think somebody will track back. They all just sat there watching after Gordon passed it to the keeper. Thing is, we don't look at it from black and white eyes. Look at it from the Chelsea side. That was amazing. How he caught him like that and sent the ball right to him. And the way he controlled the ball and went through Chow like that. If I was Chow, I would have fouled him straight away. Like, straight away. Foul him there. You might have got away with it and not get a red card. It was too far from goal. But I don't know. It was great skill by them. Bad defending from us and great skill from them. And funny thing is, we complain about how parking the bus every time, and now we 1-0 up. He wasn't parking the bus in this game, so I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, there's
It's-
times and places where when you're 2-0 up, right, and they've already got the goal back and they're on the ascendancy, you've got to be
Yeah.
able to you don't have to sit back, but you've got to understand how to control the game, take the sting out of the game. And you do that by having players that can keep possession of the ball, right? Which we don't have, right? Tiger, what were your thoughts on the goal itself?
Fucking shit, mate. That's what it was. But honest, do you know what it is, lads? I want to quickly say my piece because I gotta go and I gotta get up early. Like, lads, it's a fucking shit show. What's happening at our club, man? Like, we need to we were woken up, innit? Tim's slowly getting there, but we were woken up. Yeah, like, how can you go 2-0 up and then we perform like that in the second half? And then there's people saying that I don't know who's making that noise. I don't know who that noise is. Can you?
What noise?
Okay, maybe I don't know. I can hear a lot of noise, but anyway, if you can't hear it, great. But like, I just don't get it from our fan base. Like, how can they accept this? We can say like, oh, the referee decisions were shit. It was all this, but let's not blame the ref for this. We were 2-0 up, and we ruined it in the second half. And like, why does Hal wait to the 72nd minute to make the subs? This is what every single game, lads. Every game he does the same shit every game. And like I said yesterday, win that mighty win. Yeah, he goes. If Howe is not in the top 6 by Christmas, he should be gone. But we're 11th now, lad. So when is it time to call him out now? Because he's getting paid 9 million a year for this shit, bro. Do you know what I mean? When are we?
It's a lot
When
of
are we
money.
gonna? It's a lot of money. Like, when are we gonna say it's time to move on now? It's time to move on. Like, lads, I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting sick of watching the games every week now because it's the same crap. It is the same crap, man. And like we all saw Bruno. was so tired in that second half towards the end. Why did he keep him on? Caicedo was running past him. Take him off. Alanga does shit all, but we got, you know what? Alanga gets a lot of stick, but he hardly gets any minutes. You know, so I don't get it, lads. Like honestly, I don't know when it's gonna end. Like the Sunderland game for me was done. The way we performed in that game, that was done for me. Because you don't perform like that in the derby matches.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see. Like that, the win against Fulham papers over cracks. That's what it's done.
Mm.
You know, so
Can I just interject quickly? There's a reason why Alanga doesn't get the minutes because he's been absolutely dreadful. But D
yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
pull up. There's a comment that someone dropped. I think Connor talked about Maresca tactics at half
Mm.
time, and that is the difference between Maresca
Yeah.
and Eddie Howe. You know, Chelsea were down 2-0 at half time. We were absolutely all over him. Made 2-2 changes now, and then got back into the game. To be honest, they could have won him. They could have won it.
I thought we was going to
And that's
lose.
and
Yeah,
exactly
that's what I thought.
right. The momentum was in their favour. And yes, you can say about the Barnes chances at the end and all the rest of even the Alanga chance and the rest of it now. But to come back from 2-0 down away from home, that is a true manager. That's a true tactician. He spotted our weaknesses and got Chelsea back into the game just like that. And really and truly, Eddie Howe should have been able to see out that game. That's the difference between the two. And again, I don't really talk about how much one's on and what's the other one. I'm talking about man for man, coach for coach, manager for manager. Really and truly now, a true Premier League manager or a true Premier League coach should be able to say, okay, we shut up shop now, keep it cleano, and then we're on to the next one. Because there's no way from 2-0 down, we should be losing that. I think we lost 13 points now.
For
13
winning situations, yeah.
from winning situations. That is
The
atrocious.
most in the Premier
That's
League.
relegation form, that is. That's relegation.
It is.
So regardless of how much credit Eddie Howe's got in the bank here, I'm sorry, but that is atrocious, man.
He must be in his overdraft by now, surely.
But just
Bro,
sticking on the goal, before we go ahead to Eddie Howe, we could talk about it all day, which we will address him anyway. But what's this thing? They say Miley was 10 yards away and he slows down. Why are people ignoring that? I think someone else said something about Miley.
Was that for the second?
Yeah, it must have been because. But
He
I
ain't gonna make it back. He ain't got that speed.
There's no
Come
way.
on,
There's no
man.
way he was good.
I'd just say on that point, Dave, I
Everyone's
think
too
the
far.
big thing. Sorry, mate. I think the big thing for that goal was Share. Like all he needs to, if he's in line with the ball,
yeah.
probably in Share further back, that goal doesn't happen. Like with Chow being last man, that was the problem in my opinion.
Yeah.
The slip can happen.
Like Bernal said, if it was another defender covering, maybe fouling Pedro would be a good idea. But Shea runs in slow motion, it would have been a red and 3-game ban. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's we can all, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but you're right. Shea goes walkabouts all the time, and for someone who's so slow, sometimes he needs to think a bit. You know what I mean? You can't be always, because at one point he was up front and even the commentator was surprised it was him. It was him up front. It was ridiculous, but listen, it
And
is
where's
what
the
it is.
midfield?
I wanna
Where's the
throw-
midfield?
I was also going to throw out another question to everyone in here. I was thinking, are we lacking that bit of experience on the pitch? Are we lacking someone like a Trippier that at 2-1 down, at 2-1, sorry, are we lacking someone just to be like, okay, guys, let's just make it ugly, awkward for them. You know what I mean? Let's waste time, kill time. I remember even Lascelles a couple of times when had that good run. He was even on the pitch, but he was just being a nuisance on the sidelines. Are we lacking those sort of people there, those sort of leaders in and around the pitch? Not Eddie Howe. Forget Eddie Howe and Tyndall. Allow them to do what they need to do on the touchline. But are we lacking those leaders on the pitch or nearby the pitch to be like, okay, game management players, game management people? Because this has happened all too often. I'm just going to keep going back to it. 13.
But 40, Chelsea have a young team.
No, but I'm just saying.
Chelsea have a young team,
don't
you know?
know.
It's
Before we got Shaw. Is Shaw not experienced enough though? Like he's been there 10 years?
I don't know if he's.
Yeah, Shaw's 34 now, so he should.
I don't know if he's.
Bro, Shea, Bruno,
Bruno, Sandro.
I don't
Ramsdale.
blame Cher for that goal, though. I don't blame Cher for that goal because it's not on his
No, I'm
side.
saying the experience.
He can't get there.
No, but they're saying
As a
about the
defender,
experience.
he should fear the worst. As a defender, he should anticipate in my opinion, slip ups. He should see Chow going across, see the massive space in behind, and be like, you know what? If something happens there, he's in. So I'm gonna just come deeper for 5-10 yards, so I'm in line with the ball. That's all it needs to be. Doesn't need to be camped in his own box. If he's in line with the ball, 5 or 6, 5 yards further back, whatever, I think he'll be fine. It's just anticipating. I think that was the difference for that goal.
Yeah,
And
but
Tim, wouldn't you
there's a
say
comment
last
there.
year we saw it a lot? Unfortunately, Dad's Army at the back when it was burn and share. I think there's many a situation where we thought they should have won the ball, and they're just too old and slow. I just think whether you've got Trippier there, whether you've got Shea there, I just think they haven't got the legs. I mean, it's unfortunate from Tiao that he drops and gets spinned at the same time, but also normally you see Tonali steaming back with the recovery, and it's also the fact that normally Tino would be in that position. Yeah, people haven't got Miley, but remember, it's a midfielder playing right back. It's not his position, and he doesn't have pace, and it just shows the importance of when you get caught on the break there, you do need speed at the back. It's so important.
yeah,
No, but I'm saying we could have flipping Usain Bolt at the back. I think MB said it. The shithousery, that was it. The shithouse. There was a period of time when we was going on an amazing run, and
sorry,
it
I've
was the
got.
shithousery that we had with those players there that was getting us through the games. Because not all games that we was winning were like 3-0, 4-0. It was like close games where, oh, it's a bit looking a bit shaky. We just seen it out, but there was no kind of leadership. Look, you can have Bruno with the captain's armband and beating the chest all you want, but sometimes you just want a clever player just to go down and kill a bit of time, or just someone to take it into the corner flag, or someone just to flip in. I don't know, just take one for the team sort of thing.
Yeah,
Say,
yeah.
lad, come on, let's get into
Well,
this
let me
now.
read out some of these comments, right? Because we've got Cuff who's coming. Big up, Cuff. He said, Eddie has produced numerous comebacks, by the way. Why are you calling Maresca a proper manager of coming back from 2-0 down when we had definitely done that a few times before? Interesting,
Not
interesting.
this season.
Not this
If you
season.
if you compare the two, he's got the championship, Eddie's got the championship, right? And then he's won a continental trophy, Conference League, and he's won the Club World Cup. Makes him a better manager, in my opinion.
I mean, off the back
He's
of
had
it,
about a lot more money to
they've had
spend
an
as well.
amazing season. Like that's what I said. Look. Let's talk it from this season alone. Like you said, Jefferson, they've just come back after winning of what, Club World Cup and the rest of it. Now they
Yeah,
just come back from
they
flipping.
should be more tired.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They should be more tired than us. We can talk about, yeah, we're in this competition, that competition, great, but how can you play all guns blazing in the first 45 and then play like Dad's Army in the second half? It was just Sunday league
But
football in the second half. It's crazy.
the thing is, right, 40 is that like you can't. I think everyone said that I've heard acknowledge that you can't keep up that level of press and that energy. I think for full 90 minutes. So when the second half comes along, I was I was like screaming for Wissa to come on. I think that to me that was the
Yeah,
obvious thing. Two
yeah,
one. It's not a case of going defensive. It's a case of giving Chelsea something else to think about and trying to pin that because Chelsea came right out and pushed up, hadn't they? So we were getting pinned in a bit. So how can we get out? Wissa on the front, on the shoulder, some balls down the sides, over the top, whatever, gives them something to think about and it pushes them further back. That to me, that was the obvious thing to do.
yeah,
And I was kind of screaming for it to happen. Because I honestly think if Wissa comes on at 2-1, I honestly think we would probably win that game
yeah.
Our
because
best form,
It disrupts Chelsea.
our best form of defense is attack. And again, like you said there, Tim, if we give them something else to think about before it gets to 2-2, then it's a different game.
What we should have done at halftime, what we should have done is, listen, we've gone hell for leather 45 minutes. All right, for the next 15 minutes, control the game. Take this thing out of the game, reserve some energy, make the subs, and then go for it again. That's what we should have done, and we would put Chelsea to the sword. But again, it's the in-game management that's letting us down. Let me read some more of these comments. Mukta said, it's time to bring in a coach who has had the mentality to go for games. We have one of the best stadiums in the world, and we sit back every time we score. We have to keep the ball to stop the other team from scoring. Big up now in the building. Now said it's a consistent negative of Eddie being a reactive coach. First half amazing. 2-1 subs should be made. Murphy off. Baltimore was gassed at 60. Bruno was fucked as well. And why is Joe Linton on the bench if he can't play? Which is true. Now let's talk about the subs itself, because I think Tim mentioned, or something Tiger mentioned, that he took to the 72nd minute to make the subs, right? Which again is way too late, considering the way the game was going. Why Murphy stayed on the pitch for so long, I have no idea, because he was atrocious, right? Now, he's made the subs now, and two of those subs, he's got Barnes on and he's brought Alanga on, right? Taking off Gordon and Vissa, but he's taking off Gordon, Baltimore, and Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's start with Harvey Barnes, right? Because he had two guilt-headed opportunities, right? The first one, I think was the one when Visser slipped him in, right? Visser slipped him in, and he's taken
Yeah.
a touch.
What a ball that was, by the way.
Should
Very
have
good
just
ball.
shot. He decided to take that extra touch.
Right. Can someone explain to me why he hasn't taken the shot straight away? Because I'm still baffled to this day. Like, Tiger, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like you said, I don't know why he didn't take the shot straight away. You know, he knows that Reece James is behind him. You know he's gonna come and take it. Like, oh, I just don't get it, man. And he's going to be one of the best finishers in the club. Yeah, you're having a laugh,
Yes.
bro. You're having a
To be
laugh,
honest,
bro.
I
What?
don't think he knew that Reece James was
I don't think he sees him.
that was
Yeah.
surprising
But
thing.
then why? But then why is no one shouting that Reece James is on him? Wiss is right next to him.
I don't know.
Maybe they
This
did.
is what I don't get.
We
It's
don't
it's
know.
all quick. It's split of second, really.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a shout there and then in that split
Because
second.
Yeah.
why would you be taking off Gordon? Gordon is having a game of his life. Yes, we slate him. I think the last time we called him Anthony Frauden, but yesterday he had the game of his life. Why are we taking him off when he's on song just like that? We don't need to make the right subs. Visser, yes, I agree, but why are we taking off Gordon when he's on it? He's on it. He's closing players down. He's assisting. He's making himself a nuisance. He should have had a penalty, but then we take him off. Like some of these substitutions, we got to think to ourselves, come on, man.
What he should have done is maybe keep Gordon on and put Barnes on the right. Yeah,
There we
because
go.
because
That's
Murphy
what.
was
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
was
Yeah,
so
we
bad.
know that don't work though. We know
No,
that.
but
doesn't work.
sometimes
It could have been taking Ramsey off.
sometimes
And then we'd be criticizing him that
No,
he's
no,
put
no, no.
Barnes
but
in the wrong
Jefferson,
position.
in the moment, we can all see it when a player's on song, when players on it for whatever reason, whatever his motivation, whether it be trying to get a World Cup move into World Cup squad, or if he's just on it. You know, sometimes people are on their day, they just want it, they're up for it. Keep them on the pitch. Like, why? If he's
I hear that, but
book him.
I'm not gonna criticize Barnes because historically that guy saved us
No, I'm not
so many
I'm not
times.
criticizing Barnes. I'm
So
criticizing
many
the fact we
times.
brought off Gordon. Like, Gordon's on it, so keep him on the pitch. Like I said, your best form of defense is attack. And again,
But then it is very difficult because I will give it to Eddie. I mean, obviously he made a mistake when he started Elanga against Sunderland, and I thought actually tactically that might have worked. Maybe he's thought, look, the game is stretched, it's open. Elanga's got pace. We can hit him on the break, which we did with that attack with Ramsdale again. By the way, wonderful distribution.
Right, no, hold on. We'll get to
But
Langa. We'll get
that
to
could
Langa.
that could be why. That could be why.
No,
I mean,
I hear it. But let's talk about the Barnes chance. Let's talk about the second Barnes chance, right? Because I don't know who put that ball across, but
Bruno.
Bruno Bruno whips
Yeah.
it across, right? And I don't know about you, but I was half celebrating because I thought that was in. Yeah. To me, that's probably worse than the Voltemada one.
That is worse.
Yeah, I mean, Roy, talk to me about that opportunity because I'm still baffled to this day about that one.
It was a slower ball than the Voltemada one, and he would have had time to have a look at this. And I think when he touched it, he probably thought it was in.
Yeah.
But it just didn't connect properly on it and missed by about a few inches. Yeah, should have scored that one. He's missed loads of those, by the way. One against Barca as well, Liverpool. I can't remember how many games he's done that same mistake almost every time. And all he needed is just a bit of just focus on your foot when you're putting your foot in. But again, like Jefferson, I can't blame him because he saved us in loads of games and stuff, and he scored loads.
Okay.
I mean, probably that ball, if you think about our players in the club, who would have scored that anyway? Maybe Gordon, maybe. He's missed
Wissa.
loads of those as well. Wissa would have scored it, Voltemada maybe. But just a bad day in the office. But great ball from Bruno.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think we've crossed the ball yesterday more than we have in the last 3 games combined, probably.
Yeah.
So we need to keep it up against Man U.
All right. So you say we can't blame Barnes, right? Which okay, because he saved us so many times, and I get it, right? I've got to go to you, Tim. Talk to me about Elanga, right? Because I've tried to defend the guy, saying, listen, give him time, he'll come good. You know what I mean? He's got the attributes to succeed here. But as the weeks go by, it's getting harder and harder to defend this guy. And that cameo that he did yesterday was probably one of the worst I've seen in a very, very long time.
Hey, man, the only reason why you're defending him is because you both got the same hairstylist. That's it. Both you guys.
Brother, he wishes he had hair like this, bruv. Don't do that, bruv. Don't do that,
both
bruv.
got the same
Yeah,
hair.
don't do that, bruv. Nah.
Stop defending him.
What's your thoughts on him, Tim? What's your thoughts on him?
It was a tough watch, like when he came on. Like when we signed him, I know that he wasn't everyone's cup of tea in terms of he wasn't the technical winger I think a lot of people wanted. I thought that he would at least bring a different dimension to us on that right side in contrast to Murphy, where Murphy can unlock doors, can put some quality crosses in without having to beat a man. And then away from home, when you've got teams coming on you, you've got Alanga for the pace in behind and the counter attack. So I thought that could work. Um, and I honestly think that, while he's not the most technical player, I think a lot of it is kind of the mental side. I think he played brilliantly against Liverpool and Barcelona. He showed what he could do in certain games then, and then since then, it's like the move is too much for him. It looks like he's overthinking. His confidence is obviously on the floor, and he comes on against Chelsea, and that particular break where he could have released it a Wissa, or either do that or just take the man on, whatever. I think probably just knock it out your feet. It's like, look, things aren't working for you. Just keep it simple for now. Stick to the basics. You've got pace to burn. Just knock it out your feet and take on the Chelsea player. Get down the side and try and get across. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the crowd will probably appreciate that effort, if you like. But no, the way he dawdled on the ball was like the last thing we needed, giving it away. So when he gets the ball as well in tight areas, it's like he doesn't, again, because if he's overthinking, probably he doesn't know what to do. So he makes the wrong decision, whether it's releasing it too early, whether it's hanging on to the ball too long. So like nothing's working for him. And I said probably a month ago now that I think with Alanga, it's a case of treating it where you're easing him in and just sub appearances here and there so he can be eased in terms of like confidence and stuff. But I mean, obviously, when he had that break at the end as well, it was good pace and that, and he got into the box. But ideally, he would have squared it at Barnes, who was in a great position. So it's not working, is it? And Murphy didn't have a great game as well, but he's blatantly the best bet for now, as long as he's actually fit to be right winger.
It's you're right. His confidence is on the floor, right? And I do feel for him, but the few things that he did for me, like the one when he's dribbling down the right hand side, right? He's run at defenders, and then he stops and allows the defender to come back and pick his pockets. That was quite bad. But then that break that he had, two things about that one, right? So we know that Alanga's usually, at Forest he was, counter attack, running behind the defenders, whatever. But one thing we talked about was his pace, right? Now, not once have I seen him use his pace while he's been there. Because even in that break, he's allowed Kukurea time to catch him, which Kukurea is not the quickest of defenders, but he's managed to catch him up, right? Now, the decision making in that is damn near unforgivable because you've chopped the defender. You've got two options. There's two players there you could pass to for an easy touch and a shot. But you've decided to try the hardest option you can and curl it, bro. Like, to me, a Jose Mourinho or Conte would have hauled him off. I don't care if you just come on the pitch, you're getting hauled off. Yeah, because that was unforgivable.
Hold on. Did you just say the big man's name? You said Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, he would have done.
Mourinho,
That
D-man.
D-man saying Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I never said I wanted him. I just said that's what he.
Hey,
I just said
but
what he,
use his name.
Wow.
bro, let's get it straight. Let me get it straight.
D-man's turning now.
No. Let me
D-man's turning.
Getting in there.
Let me address this. Yeah.
Bro.
Let me make this clear. I don't want Jose Mourinho anywhere near my club, right? The guy's finished. But what I will say is that he takes no precedent.
Mortgage.
Something like that, yeah, him and Conte would have hauled him off quick time. Yeah?
No, you didn't say Conte, you said Mourinho.
I did. Read it back again. Watch it back again. I said Jose or Conte. That's what I said. Watch it back again. Watch it back again. Clinton, watch it back again. Yeah, watch it back again. But anyway, back to Elanga, right? Now, does anybody think that he will come good eventually? Is there anyone on the panel think he's going to come good?
If we get a better manager, yeah.
But why? Because he suited to counter-attacking football.
But
Nah,
we don't play to his strengths.
Not our style of play.
Yeah,
No, we
I
don't play to how he.
Yeah, what's his strengths then?
Really and truly now, Elanga is like a dark-skinned Karapaborski for anyone who remembers him, bro. Like, you signed him off a one good season, that's it. Like, he can't play the way that Eddie Howe wants him to play. Like, and that's surprising for me because all Eddie Howe loves is athletes. Like, he is the mold of Eddie Howe, but there was even a moment in time where he had the chance to go outside. I think this is the chance he talked about, and he decided to pull
Yeah.
inside rather than just actually burning for pace. Like even the chance that he did have, he's won through 1-on-1, and then he's fluffed his lines. That I don't look. For me, I'll probably send him out alone, let him get his confidence, free him or something like that. That's probably you're laughing, Tiger, but that's a save. Free Alanga, bro. Free him up
You
because that's
know,
the only reason.
sell all of them, bro. Sell all of
Well,
them.
like KJ said, you need him running into space or in behind, right? And
Mm.
he also said we play him too deep in his opinion, right? Is there any thoughts on that one, Jefferson?
Well, you need more in midfield because unfortunately, off the ball, we become a 4-5-1. So it means Eddie's relying on those wingers tracking back and slotting in. So we're seeing more of him go that way than that way. And unfortunately, we're not like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or like Nuno, where we're going to sit deep, have about 30% possession, and hit teams on the break where you're going to see the best of him. I think as well, what might happen is. Maybe with Visser, it could be worth experimenting. Might be different. Because I think, again, like we've mentioned with Voltemada, if you're not going to play the ball direct like we saw earlier in the game, you have to run in behind. And I've only really seen that in the Everton game and then obviously his debut against Villa. So we need to see a bit more of that. And a couple of shades during Burnley, but then he needs that slip ball through. So maybe that's something they need to practice more in training. Because if you notice, we've got the same pattern of play on the right hand side when the ball goes out to Murphy, or we've got an inside channel runner. Maybe we need to do that more on the other side with Ilanga.
But but guys, I've said like for a while, like I think Alanga's come to the club to play alongside Isak, and now when he's left, I think it's like I think Alanga's thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Do you know what I mean? Because he was thinking I'm going to play with Isak up top. Maybe if Isak was still here, their chemistry would have been amazing.
Yeah, but
Do you
you
know what I
can't,
mean?
you can't, you can't, you can't just decide to think because you're going to play with Isak, bro.
But
You
then,
can't.
but
Players
but
move
then,
on.
E-man, I think this whole Isak thing, half the players don't want to play for Howe anymore. I think the players are I think the players are done with him
Yeah, but do you think that's
because
to do with Isak?
I think it's the way we've treated him.
I think you're right in some sort.
Some
I
of the
think,
players, yeah.
yeah, I
I
think,
think I
Botman,
think I think because
Botman,
look what
Gordon,
Isak
Botman.
Botman and Gordon,
Yeah,
definitely.
look what
yeah.
Isak done for the last 2.5 seasons. Yeah, he's been the main man and everything, and look how we treated him. I'm
But
sorry to say, but
is that Eddie Howe? Is that Eddie Howe?
How
Or is
did
that
we
the
treat him
board?
though?
yeah, it is
Like,
Eddie Howe because he's in control of the transfers.
But
yeah,
what
but
was
This
how
it?
did we
is.
treat? How did we treat Isaac? What were
Yeah,
we meant to do
I
when
think
when
Well,
he's
the
not?
thing is, well, we should have given him the contract that he deserved
but that's
before
not Eddie
Gordon
Howe.
got the contract.
That, but
I
is
It is
that
Eddie
That was that
Howe.
was that was Paul
Isaac
that
Mitchell.
was
wouldn't have any
Mitchell? That was
issue.
Mitchell.
Go on.
well, I mean,
But
that's
then who got Paul Mitchell sacked?
No, but
he,
Mitchell's the one who started the whole thing with Isak, bruv. He's the one who took it away from him. That's what I'm saying.
but then shouldn't he have had his contract before the situation, Mitchell? I think that was the issue that Gordon got his contract
He
first.
should have had it
Joe
before
Linton
Gordon.
got his
Yeah,
contract
but
first
is
as
but what I'm
well.
saying is that Eddie Howe, or is that Mandy and all them people there?
Well,
Like this is why I don't
Eddie
think
Howe
you can
should have
get.
pushed it.
And the other thing I think he was probably frustrated with is again, this is the manager's fault. His over reliance and faith in Callum Wilson, who was never, ever, ever going to be fit. And Isak was consistently putting his body on line, not getting rested or rotated, which may have had a debilitative effect on him. And yet he's not getting the money for being the main man, and yet he was literally pretty much playing every game. So I don't think he was treated very well in that sense. Everybody knew that Callum Wilson had to be sold so that we could get a second striker who could rotate with Isak. And I think there's something in there about player welfare for sure.
Okay,
I
we
do
think
agree with that, Jefferson, in that I think there was a over-reliance in that way, and obviously giving Gordon a contract and not Isaac wasn't reflective, I think, obviously, of like the performances and the kind of quality between the two players. But I just honestly I don't think that the players in general are going to be looking at that and not bought in with Eddie Howe because of that. I don't see that. I look at that first half against Chelsea and I see players who are all in. I think the issue, I think the players probably, I think they respect Eddie Howe. We've all watched football for a long time and we've seen teams where it's obvious the players are down in tools. That there isn't a team, in my opinion, down in tools. It is a manager making mistakes and it's players making mistakes. But I don't think that, the whole Isak thing is a kind of reason for now as to why players might be making mistakes or why they're supposedly not wanting to play for Eddie Howe and Newcastle. And I don't think with Elanga, I think you know, I, I get that he was probably looking forward to playing with Isak, but to me, I think it goes way beyond that with Elanga. I think it's just he hasn't settled, and I think his lack of technical ability has
Well,
been exposed because of that.
on that point, Abba said, big up Abba, he said, we've been told multiple times during the summer that we're looking to evolve into a possession-based team. Why we went and got Elanga when this is our supposed goal is beyond me for 55 million too. And that's the thing. He doesn't sit this side of play that we're trying to do. I think someone said he's bulked up a little bit and maybe that's why he's a bit slower, a yard slow, which is interesting. But before we go on to the decision, I want to talk about Aaron Ramsdale, right? Because he he hasn't covered himself in glory, right? And I saw a stat that he's got like a 43% save rate, and Nick Pope has got a 75% save rate, right? Now we know that what he brings in terms of better with his feet. We can change the way we build up from the back and stuff, but he's not as good of a shot stopper as Nick Pope, and he's not as commanding in the box. Now, are you guys happy to persevere with Ramsdale until we get a better keeper, or do you think it's time that Pope comes in, given the fact that Pope has contributed to some errors, but we haven't kept the clean sheet in 10 games or something like that? What's your thoughts, Roy, on that one?
Each one's got his own, say, positives, and they both have negatives as well. But I think overall, I prefer Ramsdale as well, especially with the playing from the back. And he almost had an assist yesterday himself. Pope's mistakes were happening week after week as well, and ball distribution is really bad. At least, and I'm not sure about this goal saving rate. I don't know how much. Ramsdale hasn't done really much. Like the free kick yesterday, Pope would probably concede that as well. I mean, nobody knows. Second goal, maybe, but yeah, they both have good attributions as well. But I'm happy with Ramsdale. I think if we're gonna upgrade, I'll get rid of Pope. Really, he's the older one, so you keep the younger one. Anyway,
Okay.
Ramsdale's on loan. Ramsdale is on loan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
So if you're not happy with him, just let him go in the summer, and we look for another goalkeeper.
yeah. Big up SB from the catch up who's in the building as well. As I keep saying, check out their content. They record multiple times during the week. Very good content. Multiple football channels on their football teams on their show, giving their opinions. But big up SB. I think when he said he's the reason that the transfer market is effed up. I think he's talking about Elanga, the 55 million that we paid for him. It's kind of distorted the market. Listen, there's been a few transfers, man. There's been a few transfers. Paying 100 and odd million for Verts. Yeah, when you've got Cherky for 35 million, good point to that. But
Yeah.
but he's an Arsenal fan anyway, so I know he's not bothered. He's laughing at the top of the league. But big up SB. Stephen, big up Stephen said Javi Simmons was sent off and Garnacho stays on for identical tackle on Ramsey, VAR and ref was shouting. Now let's talk about the decisions. Smash the likes, people, by the way, in the comments. Leave your comments, smash the likes, help the channel grow. Want to get our following up to 500 by the end of the year. So, appreciate it and all of that. But let's talk about decisions, right? So let's start with that tackle, Garnacho on Ramsey, right? Because I saw a few journalists talking about this morning as well, and they said, considering the fact that what happened at Spurs, that this should have been a red card as well, right? Fordy, what were your thoughts on that one? Was it a red card, or should it have been a red card?
Yeah, looking back at it now, it was a red card, man, because it studs up, isn't it, and it lands it near the ankle area. So, yeah, that was a red card. But I just want to go back to the Ramsdale Pope decision. Like, I'm still Ramsdale in, but I do not want to be spending another 20 odd or 30 odd million on another keeper, because at the moment we've got more keepers and strikers. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want us to be spending
Roddy.
more money on another keeper, that Roddy keeper, just to get in another goalkeeper. Like, I don't want us to spend another window flipping salivating over James Trafford, bro. Leave James Trafford where he is. He chose his decision, he made his decision, and now he's just rotting on the bench under Donnarumma. So I just want to put that one to bed, man. Keep Ramsdale, persist with Ramsdale. Pope's a decent second choice. Rotate between the two. They both have their faults. They both have their strengths. But at the same time, I'm not going after another.
Just on that, then, Ginesta said I can only think of one Ramsdale howler, the Romero second goal, Pope had about 7 howlers this season.
Mm,
Um, Tony
Yeah.
said Ramsdale still makes mistakes, just not glaring, as they didn't cost
mm.
us goals. Indeed, so it's pretty much. Niall said Pope or Ramsdale ain't up to the quality we need to get to the top. Trafford is not the answer either. Kim Can said Eddie Howe still dreaming of Trafford. Yeah, you know that's what they're saying.
It's madness. It's madness.
Is one of his nephews that he wants to get through the door, man. Like he chases these players until he gets his man. But again, like then there's multiple other people that have gone through. Like it's crazy, and to think, yeah, sometimes you need to say to himself, there's other players out there. Like I don't even think Malik Chow was his first choice. I think
No.
No, it wasn't. Mark Gahey was his first choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
he got Malik Chow through the door. Look at him.
Yeah,
Sometimes he just needs to realise that there's other
take a
players.
step back and
Have
scour the
you have you
market.
heard he's back in for Akliouche? And what will happen is if he does get Akliouche, who's a wonderful player, by the way,
You'll get
that
the
was a
praise for
Mitchell,
it.
yeah, he'll get the praise. It was a Mitchell recommended player, same as Malik Tial.
Yeah. All right. So about the incident, the Garnacho challenge for you. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so what I was just saying, yeah, it's a bad challenge. At first, I didn't think it was that bad, but the replays do show, and this is what obviously VAR is meant to be there for, to look at it properly. The stud was up, it was reckless, and I think he should have got a red for it. Simple as, but I don't know. I don't know if the VAR monitors flipping and reach, St James's Park. I don't know if there's a connection issue or something like that. I don't know if it's flipping Stevie Wonder at Stockley Park. I don't know if Specsavers need to flip in, get involved in all the rest of it now because they somehow don't want to give us penalties and red cards on the rest of it now. But I don't know. We can't blame it on them, but at the same time, they're not doing us any favours.
Does anyone think that it wasn't a red card, or do you think everyone's agreement that it should have been?
I think he knew what he was doing, like going at Joe there. That I think there was intent in
Yeah.
that. So I think with
Yes.
that being the case, it was a red.
Okay.
And just to say, we're not totally innocent as well. I think Fabian Scher did a really naughty one on Cole Palmer as well earlier in the game. I think it was that kind of game because I
You got
think
the yellow, yeah.
I think Gordon went in on Gusto as well, and we just played on. I mean, we were giving it. There was a little bit of the old Newcastle there, but we
Yeah.
were putting a few fouls in as well. But yeah, back to that Garnacho one. That's a definite red, I think.
Yeah. Tim, what about this one? Because Stephen said the Fofana handball not even checked either. Officials were doing their best to help Chelsea. So should that have been a penalty as well?
I can't remember that one. Handball.
The
Yeah.
back heel from Voltamada when he hit
Voltamada,
his
he's
hand.
back-heeled it,
What?
and then
in the
Wasn't it
first
like
half.
just? Wasn't it like just a yard away or something?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would have been harsh if it was given. To
Aye.
be fair, I don't think that was a blatant penalty. I mean, maybe they've been given, but I think in Europe it's given, but in the Premier League, I'm not so sure. I'm not so
It
sure.
depends. It depends who did it and who's it for. So
Yeah,
if it was Liverpool, Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea themselves probably would have been given.
maybe.
Yeah, not against them.
Maybe. All right, so let's get to the most blatant one, right? The assault on Anthony Gordon, right? Can anybody explain to me why that was not given as a penalty? Because to me, that's not shielding the ball. You body checked him with force, yeah. Can anyone explain to me what's going on through these officials' heads, please? Because
You know
I
what,
really don't know.
man? Right. I can actually see, right. I know everyone's outraged by that decision,
Yeah,
but and I agree that it was aggressive and there was probably enough force there for that to be a foul and a penalty. So it probably should have been, but like at the end of the day, like what happened to a shoulder charge? And I know that was aggressive. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not as outraged as most others that I wasn't given. To be honest with you, like he comes across, he shoulder barges him with excessive force. So by that, it probably is. But he just comes across. Do you know what I mean? Like I just think sometimes we can overthink, but you want the physicality in the game. Put it that way, and
Yeah.
you don't want VAR to be taking away the physicality. And I just think there's been a lot of outrage over that, and ultimately it was our fault that we didn't win that game.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Not the
100%.
referees.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Just to stop that, like Connor said, there's 57 in the chat, 21 likes. Please help the channel grow. Like, smash the like if it only takes a second. It'd be much appreciated. We try to give you the good content on a regular basis. It will help the channel grow, help with the algorithm. So your likes will be appreciated. So please smash the like button if you can. But we've got some comments on the penalty itself before I get to go to you other guys. Adrian said, you see those body collision penalty shouts quite often. Can't remember ever seeing one given. Interesting. Uh, big up Cavi said from the Red Pit podcast, said Rice done the same shoulder barge yesterday and Everton got a free kick. The consistency is not there in this league. Agreed. Niall said it's not shoulder to shoulder. And I don't think it was shoulder to shoulder, to be fair. But Junius raised a good point. He said it's because Gordon's reputation, known as a diver. Yeah,
That's what I think as well.
Yeah. So wait, do you think it was a penny, and do you think that had something to do with it?
Well, if this was outside the box, it's a foul all day. So it was inside the box, it's a foul. But thing is, was Gordon in control of the ball, or was it between both of them, and they both had the right to go for it? So it looked, Shaluba didn't have control of the ball. So if you had the ball and then you pushed the other opponent away, then yeah. But the ball was close to Gordon, and then Shaluba's the one who did it. I can't say 100% to it. I'll say probably 60%. Yeah, it was a penalty. But we can't think with the black and white eyes all the time, though.
Yeah. Warcap said it looked like the shoulder barge interfered with Gordon's chance to make something of the ball. Plus, there was a leg in as well. So, yeah. Kante said refs are useless as the cashiers in Asda.
But by the way, Shea and Dan Burn have done it a few times, and we got away with it.
But have they done it with so excessive force like that?
I can't remember which games.
I don't
Not
know.
as bad, but especially Fabian Shea has done it a lot.
Yeah.
And we got away with it.
Fair enough. All right, so listen, it's 2 points dropped. I think we're sitting in 11th in the league, I think it is.
Whoa. There's one more chance.
Which one?
The one where Barnes is through and Reece James just pulls him back. It's a red card.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we did.
How on earth did he get away with that?
Yeah, how was that not given as a red card is beyond me, because that was blatant.
And I feel sorry for Barnes in that instance because, Barnes isn't the quickest, but he does work because Reece James is strong and quick. Despite his injuries, he's still an amazing athlete, a powerful runner, and he does really well to get in front of him. So, yeah, to get yanked back like that, I mean, where's the justice in that? Should definitely be a red card because he threw in on goal.
Did he give anything? Did he give any card? Did he?
I don't
Nothing. Not even a free kick.
And VAR didn't even pick it up.
That's ridiculous.
And that's another reason why I won't be too harsh on Barnes because we already talked about the Elanga chance. He squares it. I guarantee you Barnes taps that in.
Yeah.
And then that chance there, he's been yanked back. I know he missed the volley, but he is a threat and he gets into these key positions. So something to look out for in the future.
Yeah. Just quickly, Tony said, he asked, if the pen was given, do you think VAR tell the ref to look at it again? I don't think they do.
No.
I don't think they do. But it is what it is. But yeah, listen, like I said, it's 2 points dropped. We're sitting in 11th in the league. All right, the positive so-called happy club will say that we've progressed, we've moved up a spot and stuff like that. But it's not looking good, right? Like I said, no clean sheets in 10. I think that's 2 wins in the last 8 games or something like that. We're
conceded 17.
Conceded 17, yeah. Remember, we're supposed to meant to have one of the best defenses in the league, right? And we're slowly, as the games go by, we're slipping further away from that, top 4 spot or the top 5, right?
D-Man, I think the season's done.
I was gonna say,
the season's done, mate.
Yeah,
we're just playing for cups right now. We're playing for cups
because the reason is, arguably, if you look at Conference League, you probably need around 60 points, and that's probably on the lower end. Europa League, you need 65 plus. Champions League, 70 plus, probably 75 to be certain. So that means out of our last 20 games, we got 21 games, we'll probably have to win 15 of them. That ain't happening. Not under this manager. So what we're doing effectively is by not sacking him after game 8, game 10, maybe even game 12, we've arguably sacrificed our season on the hope that things might get better. But what we don't realise is it can be compounded further when we do have to sell the likes of Tino, Tonali, and Botman, and then you're almost starting again. I really do think this manager should have been sacked a while back, and particularly after the derby, because we've run out of games to claw ourselves back. I know people are saying potentially, all right, we're only 4 points behind Sunderland, we're only 6 points behind top four, but that means you're hoping for them to lose form and for us to pick up form. That means you're relying on a lot of variables to go right. I don't think it's going to be as simple as last year where we go on this massive long run. I
Oh
really
yeah, we're not
feel
going on this run. We're
there was
not
a
going on the
hell
run.
of a lot of luck last season.
What I will say though, what I
Brilliant.
will say is that although I agree with a lot of things you said there, the only thing I do say I don't think that point tally is going to be what we need this season, because this season is shown to be, unless the second half of the season is completely different to the first. No team is really consistent. Every team is beating everybody. It's not looking like you're going to need that much points to get to those places.
Well, apart from okay, maybe fourth, fifth might be a bit,
Yeah.
tighter. But if you look at Villa, they're already
No,
halfway.
Villa are
They're
the
already
team.
Villa
halfway.
13 points away.
Villa have got 10 wins in a
If
row in
you
all
multiply their
competitions.
score, that's
No, yeah,
72.
Villa are an anomaly, because the
That's
run that they're on is better than anybody's at this present time. So I'm not going to base it around Villa, but I
hit
reckon,
it
I
4
reckon,
games to spare.
I
They're on
reckon that you'll need a
70
lower point tally to get those positions. However, I don't think we're going to get there. I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to get there.
Boys, I think we're playing for cup competitions. Honestly, like,
But there's no point, because we're not going to win these
no.
cups.
Listen,
We're
hear me
not.
out, because I think that's the only thing that's saving Eddie Howe in his job right now. The fact that he won the cup last season and we're in the semis. So again, that could be something. And then the fact that we're doing moderately okay in the Champions League. I think
So
that's
do
the
you
only-
think then?
That's the only thing I think that's keeping him in a job.
So
Honestly.
you think if once we get knocked out of the cup, because we walked up by Man City, and then we come out of the Champions League after the next qualifying round, whatever the playoffs, do you think that's him done?
It should be. By logic, it should be, because that's the only thing that will be able to save his season and save his credibility, because after that, what else has he got to
Yeah,
live for in the
agreed.
sense of being a Newcastle United manager? Because we're out of finishing anywhere near top 5, top 8 even, in fact, if you're really being honest with ourselves. And then those are the only 2 competitions that are remotely keeping him in a job. So for me, Eddie's gone, man. Eddie's gone after that. If he doesn't win one of those trophies, then I'm sorry, he has to go.
Tim,
We're going to be ruthless about things.
Tim, what's your thoughts on the season itself? Do you think it's finished, or do you still have hope of the top 5 finish?
To be honest, I don't think we're getting top 5. Like, I haven't got any hopes for that, really. So I think it is about trying to get you, since UEFA Cup, Europa League football, and trying to win one of the cups. I think that's what it's down to now.
Yeah.
Whether that's good enough or not, we would see. I mean, in terms of the wider point around having to sell players, which I think is a valid point. If we don't get Champions League, like you say, Jefferson, trying to raise those funds, if you like, and players kind of wanting to go to Champions League clubs, I would just say that it's down to us then to use that money wisely. And if you can't get big fees for the likes of Tino, I know this sounds a bit kind of negative in a way, but if you can't get big fees, you can buy players, for lesser, and get gems and rebuild the side, if you like.
The only
So
thing is, Tim, though, I think he's shot himself in the foot with spending big money. Like, I think he's a small, that not. I don't want to say that the Harry Redknapp kind of wheeler dealer market, but I think that those sort of transfers serve him better than the big money transfers. Because look at the big money transfers so far; they've not.
yeah, no, I mean, well, I was going to say forward, exactly, I agree, and I was going to say forward, like, I mean, for me, I think, like I say, I've kind of lost faith in Eddie Howe's game management and his squad management, and I think my question, I think, is really who would you get? And I've put out there about Iriola, and it's a bit of a contradiction in one way, because Iriola is very similar in that he plays a very high pressing style, and he plays kind of long passes, if you put it that way, to win the ball high up in the final third and then do your damage from there. But he does play with a 4-2-3-1 with a number
Get
6.
Fabregas in. Yeah, try
Well,
Fabregas.
I mean, I think that's, I know, and I think Peter mentioned Fabregas, and I think that would be interesting. I mean, the thing is with these 2 options is that, we complain about Eddie Howe with the lack of kind of management of the squad with Europe, and also the lack of controlling games. So would you go for a manager who A has been in Europe, and B is more tiki-taka, if you like, where they control the game more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just think with Iriola, I think if you were to change manager mid-season, Iriola will be a smooth transition because he is similar in style to Eddie Howe, but it's a fresh pair of eyes, a fresh outlook, and perhaps I would like to think more in-game management
oh yeah,
and
definitely.
yeah,
See,
and more kind of tailoring the side to having a number 6, for example.
I
So
hear
Yeah,
if you
you on
can
that
have
one.
the blend of the pressing style, but having a number 6 as well.
Mm.
I mean, I think Iriol is a quality coach, basically. I
No,
think,
he's a quality coach, but I feel
yeah,
like
He
we
is.
still need to go for that box office manager. I feel that we need to level up in terms of that notoriety, that name, that figurehead as a manager who's going to help draw players in. Like, yes, we can get the best up and coming managers, all the rest of it now, but
it's
really
time
and
to
truly
get the
now,
real deal.
exactly, we need that big, high profile manager to bring in players that we haven't been able to in the past. Because if you look at all the players that we brought in, most of the time they are from the Premier League because that's Eddie Howe's limited amount of knowledge. Yes, we've
Yeah.
brought in a few gems here and there, but I think that's probably more Nixon than Howe.
All right.
To be honest.
who would you
Let,
get for them?
D-Man already knows. Everyone knows. Like
You get Jose.
I would get in Jose
all
purely
right. On that note,
Honestly, mate,
on
like,
that
on
note,
like a
let me
one or
let me
two
let me
year
go to Ray.
deal,
Hold on, hold
but
on, hold
it
on.
makes sense in terms of profile.
I know
let
what
me
you mean.
let me go to Ray because I don't want to stick on the manager thing because we can go all day, right? But
Mm.
Ray, right? We know where we are at the moment, right? Now, one thing we need to address is our way form. Now, we're away to Manchester United next, right, on Boxing Day. Now, Genius has brought up the stat here. He said 5 away wins in 21 games this year: Southampton, Leicester, Spurs, and West Ham and Everton, right? Now, do you think that now Man United lost today away to Aston Villa, right? But they played some good football and they've got some attacking threats as well, right? How much hope do you have for us to beat Manchester United to go there get result on Boxing Day?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have played them in a better time now. They've lost all the African boys, and they've lost Fernandez today, unless he makes a miracle and comes back in 4 days. So we'll never get a better chance to beat them than this. And we beat them last year 2-0. So this is going to show us how we improved, how we progressed or regressed. Because we're desperate now. We've got 21 games and we need to win about 13 or 14 of those. So you have to look at every game now as a must-win. It doesn't matter you're playing at home or away. And I don't know who's come up with this away form because we were rubbish at home as well.
This is it. Now we
So
can't even win at home.
yeah,
Then
we're rubbish at home. We lost to Liverpool. We lost to we drew with Chelsea and Spurs, which we
lost
beat.
Arsenal,
We beat both of them. We lost to Arsenal as well.
played through
So
against
how many
Burnley,
points
played through
dropped?
against Wolves. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we got loads of points, and we haven't started. Last season, we got 18 points from the bottom three teams. It was 3 points home and away from each one. That's almost a third of what we got last season, just from three teams. This season, we already dropped points from those teams, so it's just, we have to play catch up. Plus, we've played the Spurs and Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal,
Man City
and
all at home.
City. We played all of them at home,
Yeah,
so we're going to play all those away. For those 5 games, are we going to get anything from them? Well, we
no.
have. I
Mid-table
can't.
finish.
Last time we beat Liverpool away, I was a virgin. So that was a long, long time ago.
You know
So
what? It's almost like we need a first half team and a second half team because, like,
Mm.
I said this yesterday. It's like we might as well be playing Baller League rather than Premier League because we can only last for about 30 minutes. That's it. Like
The,
30 minutes and we're
yeah,
the,
done.
the, the issue is as well off the pitch. Where is the ambition and the intent of the board? Because we haven't really seen that since Mandy, and I think sacking Paul Mitchell was actually a bad move because people will not look at us
yeah.
off the pitch as being ambitious. We're still hearing nothing about the stadium plans, and I think the whole mysticism of where we were going, people thought we were going to be the next city when we started. I think that's what enticed the likes of your Brunos and Tonali's. But now the smoke has cleared, people can see actually that we're not going to be racing up. There are going to be some sort of rigors and difficulties. So we really need the director of football to push it out there. There's two routes you can go. Either the board have to show they're bold and ambitious, saying, look, this is our future over the next 5 years. This is where we want to go and spend big, blah, blah, blah. or we rely on the director of football and recruitment team and be more like a Dortmund or a Red Bull
Get
model,
the gems
where we're
and
finding all these little gems that are 10 million here, 15 million here, 20 million there, build up the value, sell a few of them, regenerate and go again and build over a period of time. But we need to do something. We're
yeah.
stuck in this halfway house where, unfortunately, with Eddie Howe, we're going to do neither.
Right, let me read out
We
some
have
of these
to go
comments.
on.
Right, let me read out some of these comments before we wrap up. But Foxy said, "No team apart from Villa and City are on form. Majority of teams struggling for consistency, so we have half a chance to recover the season." Connor said, "We have 9 games in January. That's a lot." Um,
Using those same players that Eddie doesn't like to rotate. It's
yeah,
going to be a tough one.
big up Gary. He said, if we beat United, we will be on 23 points after 18 last year. We were on 29 points, so not all doom and gloom. I take it you're saying, Gary. Kim Cam said Villa will go to the Champions League. Um,
Yeah.
and Warcap said, I'm still editing for what it's worth. Yeah, so there are some
Yeah, but if
Eddie
you ask
fans.
these people why,
Mm. They
the
can't
answer is
cope
always
You know what it is?
he won the cup and
It's
this and
blind
that.
loyalty, and
with emotions.
listen, this is why I love Geordies, man. They're so loyal to a fault, man. That's why I love them. They're my people. But
Mm.
sometimes it's not a bad thing to want more. You know what I mean? Like these guys have not. These guys from overseas have not invested all their hard-earned money into this club, into the city, for us to be finishing mid-table and semi-finals of a Carabao Cup. Like, let's have some ambition now. We don't need to keep going on about, oh, but back in the day when we had Mike Ashley, it was bad time. Look, those days are done. Forget about it. We're now in the same eyes, in the same realms of the Chelseas and Man Cities of this world that are ambitious. Let's now push forward now. We don't have to have blind loyalty to Eddie Howe. He's not here on a volunteer basis. He's paid a pretty penny to be here. And if he's not doing the job, let's get rid of him. Thank you for your service. You'll forever be a legend. You broke the hoodoo, the voodoo, whatever you want to call it. But now need to be ambitious and get a new manager in that can lead us to the next level. Because otherwise we're going to be stumbling and stalling forever.
Well, Bernal said the project has gone stale. We need to thank Eddie for all he's done and make the changes.
Mm.
Like Man City fans, we're not happy about Sven and Eriksson getting sacked, but change is part of the process.
Yep.
John said, "Who do we bring in? We won't get an elite manager. They won't want to come."
Of course they
Interesting.
would.
It is valid.
Interesting.
It is valid.
Yes.
But
No, they
people have
would.
been bringing up Xavi and Terzic. And the thing about Terzic is we've seen him work well with the youth at Dortmund. And he did get Dortmund to a Champions League final. And also, he turned around the fortunes of Jadon Sancho, who, was struggling in the Premier League. And then when you look at Xavi, he's won a league title. I know people will say it's easy, but at the end of the day, he's won a league title in arguably the second toughest division in Europe. So,
I'm not having that.
we
I'm not having that. I'm sorry, but elite
gotta
managers
go
will
for it.
be looking at Newcastle. We can offer a lot. You know what I mean? Like there's still elite managers that are out of work or at other clubs thinking, that Newcastle job, it might be a bit tasty. Like the fact that it's waiting there to be taken to the next level, and we could be meeting someone who's kind of in the middle of getting to that next status, and they want to take us with it as well. Like
Glasner.
exactly. Do you
He's
know what I
won
mean?
the
Glasner.
Europa League. He's
That's what
won
I'm
the
saying.
Europa League.
There's managers out there that want to be taken to the next level with us, and we can grow with them. At the moment, we're kind of hauling Eddie up because remember, no one really wanted Eddie. Eddie was out of work for a very, very long time, and to be honest, we went from Bruce to Eddie. So again, wasn't much of a, not much places to go in terms of that sense. So there's elite managers out there that we're looking at that Newcastle job thinking that would be a bit of me. So
Right. Let wrap up by talking about the Manchester United game. Let's get some predictions before we sign off. Jefferson, prediction?
I know they're missing Mbuemo, who's big for them, and Ahmad. So in terms of their attack, that's big. But I just think we don't travel well away from home. Um, I think I can see goals in this because we're shocking defensively as well. I think I'm leaning towards 2-2 and 3-2 to them. I'm going to lean into that 3-2 to them, I think, unfortunately.
Okay. Tim, thoughts and prediction?
Uh, I think the problem is that, like Roy was saying about the playing catch up, when you're doing that, the pressure builds, and it's harder to win games then. And I'm not confident. I would say a draw. I would say a draw, and I think as well, just to quickly mention that I think somebody used the word stale there, and I think that's what I've been saying. I think that's the perfect description. Stale. I think Um, I think the players kind of still respect Howe, but I think a fresh voice. I think there is a staleness there essentially.
Okay.
And I think it was Piff. It's down to Piff to, I think, give Hopkinson the autonomy to do what he sees fit instead of having to go back all the. Do you know what I mean? It seems like the cogs turn so slowly. We need that direction from boardroom level so we can just move quickly. And I think that's what Piff need to decide, and give the autonomy to the DOF or the CEO. But I mean, in terms of Man United, I'll say a draw.
Okay. Stephen reckons we're going to win 2-1. Said ever the optimist. Big up, Stephen. Okay. Ray, what's your thoughts? Prediction?
I actually think we're going to beat them. I'm
Yeah.
being optimistic for this one. I think part of the captain's job, Bruno, is to help his mates and encourage the team. And sometimes we see this here in Qatar. Like the captain will go without even the coach knowing, take all the players out for dinner, sit together without the coaching staff, just the players, and they'll talk to each other and just have a little meeting together. And I think Bruno needs to do that with the players without Eddie Howe getting involved with this, and then just go to that team. Because have you seen Bruno hasn't smiled in the last couple of games since that incident after the derby,
Yeah.
and he looked serious, and I think they'll be up for it. Him and Tonali should be. If we want to win that game, him and Tonali should be up for it,
Okay.
and we'll win that one.
Okay.
Especially with those, especially if Fernandez is missing.
Yeah.
That is big.
Okay. 4D, what do you reckon?
I'm going with Roy. I think we actually might win this one, but I don't think it'll be down to Eddie. I think it'll be down to the players. I think we'll go down a similar route. We'll go all gung ho, but I think we might have learnt our lesson from the last game and the previous games where we've dropped points, and somebody will have to, click into gear and actually make an executive decision on certain scenarios where it might be 2-1, we're hanging on, and rather than doing something that Eddie, barks orders down at us, we'll take it into our own hands and win us the game. Like, it'll be a close one, despite all the players that are out for Man United, but I think we might just nick it. But it's still paper over the cracks over a very lackluster season.
Okay. I disagree. I think we're going to lose the game. I think we're going to go down 1-0 or 2-1. I have no faith in our way form. It's horrible. And we play within ourselves when we're away from home. So, I know they've got injuries and players missing, but they'll be up for it. And Boxing Day, I'm going back to the days of, I never used to enjoy my Boxing Day as a Newcastle fan. We always used to love that, especially away from home as well. So, yeah, I'm not holding out any hope for this one. But before we go,
played Man U on Boxing Day before, didn't we? 4-3. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was there against Bolton once, and we beat them too.
Yeah, we've had the odd one, but to really, I'm not.
Not many under Ashley though. I think we lost all of them.
Yeah.
D-Man, there's a comment from Irish Assassin which I think is quite interesting.
I put that one up about Jose.
Yeah.
I put that one up as well.
I think there is something in there about getting a reaction from the dressing room, because I think it could be the same with Cesc on the basis that he's not achieved it as a manager, but as a player, if you're in the midst of someone who's won the World Cup and the Euros, please believe you're going to be respecting that.
Oh yeah, I agree with something.
Rather than someone that's just won the Championship and the League Cup. It's levels, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're going to, especially when you're going to track the bigger names as well, you need someone who's going to.
Is that D-Man agreeing? Hold on, we need to clip this. Fabregas. You said Fabregas, yeah?
Nah, you said Jose. You're not hearing, bruv. You're not hearing. No, the comment was about Jose, but he talked about Fabregas just after that. And that's when I started saying, that's when I started saying, we got it, that's fine. Run the tape again.
Thing is, I do. The romantic side loves the idea of Jose being on the touchline for us. Do you know what I mean? And like the Robson connection. It does, in theory, it sounds quality. And like you say, Jefferson, you know he'd obviously respect straight away, obviously, being who he is. In terms of a long-term project,
he will
as
burn
we've seen with Jose, he's not a long-term manager.
I think just give him an 18 months. If the board has strict him,
anyway.
Picking up the pieces afterwards.
One more thing, D-Man. If the board is strict to say, Jose, we don't want any of your shit. Come in and do the job. You've got a short-term 18-month contract. We want you to recruit as many quality players as you can in the window. Any sign of nonsense, you're gone. I guarantee you, he will see this as his last big opportunity in the Premier League, and we may see the best.
You think that no board has ever told him don't do foolishness, and look what's happened. Every
Bro.
club he's gone to, he's lit it up in
Man,
flames.
no.
Yeah?
But listen, the amount of times he's referred to Bobby, yeah, there's that romanticism. There is.
Don't get me wrong. Don't
We
get me wrong.
honestly
He
want, bro.
believes. He believes he was gonna get this job at one point. He believes I'm a
And
little
he probably
magpie.
still does.
Shut up,
He
bruv.
probably
You're
still
not a
does.
little magpie, bruv.
Again,
You're a pigeon, bruv. Get out of
if,
here. But anyway,
if we
By the
wanted
way,
to give him
by
for
the
2
way,
years, that's it. That's it.
has, it,
2
has
seasons.
anyone seen the picture of Sir Bobby with Jose, Luis Enrique, and Guardiola?
yeah,
Jeez.
And
yeah.
then just like
Yeah,
again,
from the
and
Barca
people want to
days.
diss Bobby,
Now,
and
because Bas
yeah,
and what do Bas fans call him? The interpreter. Relax. But anyway, my last question. My last question before we go. The last question before we go. Right. Just to give me 3 names. Right. 3 names. Cav asks, who would be your front 3 for the Newcastle team going forward? If with all players available, who's your front 3? I'll go with you, Jefferson. Who's your front 3? Forget formations. Just give me 3. Just give me 3
oh,
names.
forget formations.
Yeah. Just give me 3 names.
Jesus. Okay, this is going to be a bit messy, but I'd have Visser on the left, Voltamada through the middle, and Barnes on the right.
Okay, Tim.
There's an asterisk up there about rotation. Okay, so there's a lot of rotation going on. But to give you the 3 names, Barnes left, Wisser up front, and Murphy right.
Okay, Roy.
I'll stick to yesterday's front 3. So it's Gordon left and Murphy right, Voltamada up front.
Okay, and Clint.
I'm saying Gordon left, Murphy right, and Visser up top. And that's only because I'm dropping Voltamada into the 10.
Agreed. I'd say with that as well. But listen, for those in the chat, give us the 3 names, and also leave your managerial picks, and also leave the prediction for the Man United game. But do that after the stream, so we need to get the comments up as well.
And hit the likes.
Hit the likes. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share with your people. Like I said, we're trying to get to 500 subs before the end of the year. But yeah, thank you, Tim, for joining. Hope you enjoyed your debut on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Welcome to the dark side, son.
Look, his eyes are turning yellow now.
Yeah.
Roy, as usual, thanks for joining. It's a pleasure to have you on, my friend. Big up.
Cheers, mate. And always remember, you take the right winger off, you put a right winger on. You take the left winger off, you put a left winger off. You take Voltamada off, you put Wisa on. Married to 433 and blood pressure.
What it's all about.
Ding dong.
Big up, Roy. Big up. And 40, big up. Thanks for joining. I know you've been out and about on the socials and DR Sports again. You've got your own channel as well to promote. Do you want to share those details?
Yeah, just representing for all the Geordies, man, especially the southern ones as well, man, on DR. So yeah, just follow me on all socials for that mercy, man. Just ranting about Newcastle United. And by the way, yes, again, get this channel to 500 subs, and D-Man will then acknowledge. You'll be forced to acknowledge us, and you'll be putting up the fingers up with us. Even Tim, welcome to the dark side. Roy is with us as well.
I'm the dark side all the way, son.
Tim's face is like, look at you, Prats.
I'm sitting right in the middle.
My lightsaber's double-sided, man, and it's red.
You're Darth Maul.
Miraz calls me Darth Twat, but sorry.
No, big up everyone. Big up everyone. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Enjoy the time with your families and your loved ones and all that. Hope you get what you wish for in terms of your presents and that. But listen, we'll see you after the Man United game. But until then, we're out.
Merry Christmas.
Peace.
Merry Christmas, and let's beat those Manx.